I've been building businesses for 10 years, and last month I made $20,000 from my online business. But if I was a broke college student again, how would I make my first $10,000? Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 types of businesses that I've actually used myself, tell you which one I think is the best, and show you how to start them today. Throughout the video, I'll also reveal the 4 core principles needed to run any business successfully. Now, let's get started by talking about businesses that sell local products. This is the type of business that likely comes to mind when you think about ways to make money, and includes selling things like DIY crafts, jewelry, home decor, or clothing, food products like fresh produce or baked goods, and many more. This is what most of us did when we were kids. While selling local products may sound like a great and easy way to get started, it's actually the worst type of business you can have, for several reasons. For example, when I was attending boarding school, I helped out with baking birthday cakes. I was pretty good at it and enjoyed it, so I started whipping them out myself. I'd slice them into pieces and go around selling them for $2 each. At the time, I wasn't doing it to make money. It was a fun way to be involved and share what I made. Looking back though, it never would have worked as a business. The problems are obvious. Every sale takes a lot of effort. It's tough to find new customers since you're geographically isolated. You cannot compete with large companies, and you will never be able to scale. But there is one thing that selling cake to hungry people gets right, which leads us to the first key principle of making money. Making sure you solve real problems. Principle number 1, solve real problems. We all solve problems every day, and these can range from the mundane and routine like buying a coffee on the way to work to the extraordinary and rare when your furnace stops working in the dead of winter. In each case, however, we're trying to solve a particular problem, like staying awake with our coffee and warm with the furnace, but the value the barista and HVAC technician provides us, a single cup of coffee for one morning versus a furnace that will work for decades, is worlds apart. That's why one is far more expensive than the other. After all, people only buy something if they believe that the value they get from it exceeds what they pay for it. This might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many entrepreneurs, myself included, struggle with this. For example, everyone gets hungry. So when I was selling slices of cake, it was relatively easy to find someone willing to buy them, and they gladly paid me because I solved the problem. However, many other people could have also solved that problem for them. So competition was high, meaning I couldn't charge a lot. However, there are comparatively few people who can replace a furnace and get your central heating system up and running again. In short, the harder the problem you solve, the more you get paid. With that in mind, let's see how you can solve more complex problems and make more money with our next type of business: local services. If you need money today, selling local services is the fastest way to make money. Still, there are serious downsides to consider. Let's dive right in. Local services include tutoring, personal training sessions, dog walking, and services such as DoorDash, Uber, or Lyft, as well as home cleaning, lawn care, and more. In my case, I fell in love with yoga, and after spending a summer in the mountains of Alicante, Spain, I was certified to teach. I moved back to Helsinki, contacted a few yoga studios, and quickly taught my first class. It didn't take long for reality to hit. Although I loved what I was doing, the pay was very low, the work was physically exhausting, and the future looked bleak. After a few months, I left yoga behind. So even though local services are a great way to make money quickly, is it worth it? You are effectively trading your 2 most valuable assets, your time and energy, for a relatively small, inconsistent income. And selling your time and energy cheaply violates the second principle of running a successful business: using what you have. Principle number 2, use what you have. Leveraging your time and energy efficiently and effectively is the recipe for success in everything in life. But as a student, it's even more important. You're already going to school and trying to build your future. That's why you have to make as much money as possible while investing as little time and energy as you can. That's exactly what I did. I had bills to pay, no income, and nothing but my computer, phone, and Wi-Fi. So I sat down one day and filmed a simple tutorial, how to transfer money from Revolut to a bank account. This 52-second video ended up generating over $3,000 in ad revenue. If you have a phone, a laptop, an internet connection, and the drive to pump out content, that's enough to reach your first 10K. All the tools you need are at your fingertips. Of course, there's far more you can do with the internet than make content. You can sell anything to anyone, anywhere in the world. Global products. With global products, you're not limited to a small number of repeat customers physically close to you. Anyone with an internet connection can buy what you're selling. The possibilities here are endless, especially when you consider things like dropshipping or fulfillment by Amazon. Still, it's relatively easy to sell universal products such as clothes or print-on-demand items online. I know because I built a custom art store called Benefique, where I sold minimalist, faceless portraits like the one you can see on the wall behind me. The timing couldn't have been better. I launched Benefique a few weeks before Valentine's Day 2022 and started buying ads targeting young couples. I was so close. Portraits would be added to carts, but the conversion rate was super low. I couldn't figure out why. Then, one day, sitting in my dad's office with a friend, he said, "Your prices are too high. Why don't you just lower them?" I thought, why not? The price change was ready for Valentine's Day and sales exploded. I quickly made around $135,000 in revenue and I thought I'd made it. But scaling the business so quickly brought new, unexpected problems. I had to hire multiple graphic artists to create the portraits and the quality varied. Some were excellent, others not so much. Quality control for an art business, it turned out, was a nightmare. After a couple of months though, I added up all the costs and the depressing truth hit. I'd actually lost money. I ran myself to rag building a business that appeared successful, but it ultimately cost me money. Benefique taught me the most important and toughest lesson I've ever learned. Revenue is easy, but profit is hard, especially when your market is the world. Scaling Benefique meant I had to keep reinvesting in the business. I got stuck in an endless cycle of expansion and restocking. Although it's possible to create fantastic businesses selling global products, for students just starting out, it's a stressful and expensive path to take. The barrier to entry is deceptively high. Now, although global products are hard, they follow a key principle that will help you build a successful business. After the initial investments, they generate passive income for you every month. Principle number 3, build once, earn again. Most students trade time for money by dog walking, tutoring, delivering food, or doing some inconsistent time-consuming work. While this might make you some money, the problem is that the moment you stop working, the money stops too. That's fine for quick cash, but it will never build you anything that pays you while you sleep. The real key to success lies in creating a business that continues to make you money after you're no longer investing time, energy, or money into it. In other words, you create something once, but it continues to generate passive income every single day. After the initial production costs are taken into account, these products are not destroyed or consumed by the customer. They can be watched, bought, or downloaded by millions of people over and over again. For me, it turned out to be YouTube videos. After the upfront costs, paying writers and editors to get everything just right, all I have to do is upload it, and years later, that video will still be making me money. This is a slow burn though. I make nothing upfront, but slowly, over time, each video will pay me a little bit every day, and each one will eventually be in the green. Stack enough of those videos, and you've got a full-time income without trading valuable hours for cash. That's the difference between delivering food or walking dogs and building a renewable asset. One stops paying you the second you call it a day, and the other pays you long after you're done. All right, we finally arrived at the million-dollar question. What is the easiest way to make big money as a student? As this section should have made it clear, it's simple. Leverage scalability of global products without the massive overhead. Sell global, online services. Offering online services such as content creation, website design, copywriting, social media management, or video editing is the most effective way to earn money today. There are no upfront costs. All it takes is time, energy, and expertise. And unlike local work, you develop more competitively advantageous skills over time and build networks with valuable clients worldwide. My niche was creating YouTube videos and earning money when people signed up for the tools I recommended. Initially, I had no team. I wrote, filmed, and edited everything on my own. It wasn't glamorous, and it led to some very stressful days. But it kept costs at zero. Over time, those videos began to gain views on YouTube and earn me not only ad revenue, but also commissions. That's how I made my first $10,000, by turning my free time into videos that continued to pay me weeks, months, and years after I finished them. Eventually, after enough money started rolling in, I began handing off the parts I didn't enjoy. That's when my YouTube channel stopped being a side hustle and started being a proper business. Now I collaborate with major brands like Wix, Zendesk, Melio, and Zen Business, producing consistent content for them. With the steady income, I was able to build a skilled team of writers and editors to not only produce higher quality videos, but also scale production. This method worked for me, and it can certainly work for you. But it isn't easy. It's a tough daily grind. And that leads us to our final principle. Principle number 4, stay consistent. You've heard this before, so I'll only say it once. Life is a competition. To win, you must show up every single day. Not when you feel like it, and not when it's convenient. Every single day. No entrepreneur got their start working a cushy office job and living in $1 million house. They worked for it, and with hard work and a little bit of luck, you can make it too. So, this is how you can make your first $10,000 as a student. If you want to learn how to start creating content, you can check out the video linked on screen, where I break down how I make over $20,000 by creating simple educational videos that don't require millions of views.